Hello everyone and welcome back to Murph's Models. Today, from the happiest place on earth,
That's Disneyland. We're going into the land of Pirates of the Caribbean.
So last time I made this chap here, but now it's time to make his rather frazzled feathered friend. Yeah, let's get going on making this lovely chirpy chick. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do her feathers. I mean, I've got these real ones here, and also these rather nice floaty ostrich feathers, which might do the trick as well. But I'm not sure they're exactly right for this particular design, the fabulous design that Marc Davis created. But before all that, there's something else I've got to do. Now, I'm going to make this tankard here
For the parrot to stand on.
and for that, all I need is a couple of lovely cardboard tubes. I'll measure the height of that tube. That's where I cut it. Now it's time to do the handle for that tankard.
So I'm going to trace it and then make these handles.
Out of bits of corrugated card. I am going to cut this out.
Then I'm going to trace it onto the card and then line it with some paper on the edges using PVA glue. There we go. What could be easier than that?
This jug, sitting like that, there's actually a little stand at the base of the jug. I'm going to try and do something like that using 2 strips of cardboard.
Which I am going to glue together, but at an angle.
Now I'll put this away to dry.
Now that it is
Dry.
I'm going to snip the base flat so that it sits like a tankard should sit. Now it's time for some Daz.
Let's squish this out nice and thin. Squish, squish, squish. Put a bit of glue across here. Something to help the Daz to glue to
The cardboard tube. And then roll that Daz on.
a little pot of water as well. That will help to smooth it down as we go around.
So I keep smoothing and watering and staving and watering and tankarding, and then it looks like a tankard. Except we need to do that little shelf at the bottom so that it sits nice and evenly on the surface. Just like that. So the handle needs to be given a little bit of texture as well. Using the Daz, I'm just going to smooth it around so it sort of kind of looks like the rest of the tankard.
So what I'm going to do now is this little shield.
So I'm going to trim a nice thin sheet of Daz, write in some scriggles, which I don't even understand myself,
Okay, I'm going to use this under here. Place it about there.
and wet around the edges so that it glues nicely together. And then finally, it's time to put a brim on the top of the mug. So I've got a snake of Daz, I put some glue down and I'm pressing it and then smudging it up to the top. And with a brush, just finishing it off so it's nice and smooth. And there you go, here is the tankard at long last.
So now comes the fun bit. First up, I'm going to do a quick little armature. I'm going to do the claws. So I'm going to do 1, 2.
So those claws will actually be attached separately to the tankard, and then the parrot will sit with her legs on top. It'll be like they all exist together.
I'm actually now going to do the wireframe of the body of the parrot, and it's going to need to be quite a long piece of wire. Let's find the middle between the 2 sections so that we can then do that as the head. Twist this around, beak going like that, some neck down to there. That's going to be the body like that.
Now I'm going to make some magic, and there we have the finished skeleton.
What I need now is some of this lovely aluminium foil, and I am just going to beef up the body section here.
And here's some more magic. And now she's ready to finish. So all I need to do is put some masking tape around it, and then it's time to sculpt her. So using those wire supports that I made earlier, we're going to sculpt these cute little feet of the pirate. No, of the parrot. And now that I've got 2 claws on each foot, I can put it on the tankard, just like that.
And now it's time. I'm going to do the legs first. I'm going to work my way up. So first up, I'm going to do some more spindly legs to join onto these legs at the end of the day. So more snakes.
And wrap those snakes around the wire, and then create those scales up the legs with your sculpting tool. And when you place it up against the claws on the tankard, I'm hoping it looks like those feet are attached. So now let's do the body. First up, push that into the front of her tummy and then both sides to give that peculiar puffed up chesty shape. Then let's compare it to the design. Looking pretty good, but what we need to do now are these weird like tufty sort of things that come out of the body and down to the knee. What I thought I'd try and do is sculpt in those fluffy knee warmer things and see if that actually works, or whether I'd need to use another method. Now the next thing is that head, and actually mainly the head is that gigantic great beak that she has. So it's important to get that shape right first. Here we go, that looks pretty good to me. But it's a bit big at the back here.
So we could shave a whole millimeter off there, I think. Look at my fingers, they are just covered in...
Well, let's just say...
I don't think you'd get a very accurate measurement of my fingerprints at the moment. They're just like full of Sculpey stuff. Anyway, let's carry on. Right, so I'm just going to do this lower beak. The upper bit of the beak and the rest of the parrot
has been baked in the oven. So it's now just a matter of blending the two bits together and then making up some kind of resemblance to a tongue. Cut that off and we're going to stick that in down inside the lower beak here. I'm just going to do some eyes while I'm at it. Why not? Half a sphere. Look at that. It's just about perfect now that I put that eye on. And now I'm just going to do an indentation so that I can create a bit of an eyelash on the eye and also a bit of a brow above. And then straight back in the oven to bake.
And here is a colour illustration of what the parrot colours should be. I have found these organza fabrics, and both the yellow and this olive green I think work perfectly. So what we now need to do is to create the feathers of the parrot. We need to cut some strips of that fabric and with a sharp pair of scissors start snipping shapes, rather random, different lengths, because she's kind of looking a little bit random and a little bit crazy, a little bit frazzled as a parrot. A frazzled pirate parrot is just the sort of parrot we're after. Once we've done that, a few different layers, one on top of the other, I think we'll start to get that sort of crazy, feathery look. Nice, that's starting to look just like that. Woo!
Okay, so now it's time to paint this parrot before we put the feathers on. So I need a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow ochre. And with the fabric there as a colour reference, I'm going to try and paint this whole body as fast as I possibly can. I'm even going to use my fingers to scrub it around and get it looking nice. That's more like the colour of the fabric. There we go on the tummy. And now that we've dried it out, let's try working on this beak. It's nice and bright and yellow, so that's all I need to do. Get lots of yellows, lots of water, and maybe a little bit of the yellow ochre as well. And I'm going to do the legs. I'll be even going to do those tootsie wootsy feet of the lovely lady's parroty footsies. And once all that's dry, it's just time enough to do the interior of the mouth. A little bit of black for her eyelash and then a little bit of black in the nostril. And there we go. I think she's just about painted. Now let's start gluing these feathers on. I'm hoping she'll look shaggy and feathery, just like those brilliant illustrations Marc Davis made all those years ago.
Push that down in there like that. I think maybe this one might be the best. Put it around like that.
So with my myriad amounts of different cut out feathers and a lot of PVA glue, I'm slowly but surely going to stick all these pieces on, but you don't want to see that. That'll take forever. So here's a quick translation of what I did to get me up to the next stage, which was putting lovely silk bits of feather on. Always good to have a handy, long, sharp pin to push those feathers around and make them all scruffy.
So we need some nice hot water and some instant Colombian coffee. Let's pop some into this water, dissolve it up. Now, if I grab my brush, I'm just going to brown up these bits of feather work because they're just a little bit too light. And if it does go onto the silk, which it has there, that doesn't matter because it needs to be a bit grubby, not too clean and bright. Oh, I can smell the coffee. Delicious. I love some coffee. In fact, it's so good that I'm going to have to go and make a brew. So I'm going to go make some coffee and I'll be back again soon.
Oh, yum, 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 yum. Oh no, before it can even take a sip,
I forgot completely this wing on the side of this gorgeous green and yellow bird.
So I've done a little
Aluminium frame. I'm going to put some Sculpey on top of that, hoping that that is about the right size. Once I put a bit of fabric on that, I think that's pretty good. So all these bits that I put on there, I don't need. That's really boring. Did all that work, and now I'm going to take it off. But hey, you live and you learn.
So let's get these lovely feathery bits off. And now that I've baked this wing, I'm going to push it in
Around about there.
And after defining these feather shapes a little bit more, it's time to give this wing a yellow ochre base coat with just a smudge of green at the tip.
I'm going to use some Yoo-Hoo here to glue on what I previously took off, because that kind of fits right in here with the feather work. And I'm even going to put one more bit, just maybe like that, in there like that. All this dude needs now is a little bit of brilliant red. I don't know what it's for,
But after all, if Marc Davis decided there's going to be a little bit of red on the wing, I think it's up to us to make sure that happens.
where am I going to splodge it? Right in here. It's time to do this tail. And to do that, I am just going to get these longer feathers and twirl them up together. So I'm just going to twirl it like that.
Twirl, twirl, twirl. And then glue it into the back here. And there we have the tail for this gorgeous lady parrot.
Now it's time to finish off this tankard. So what we need to do first is glue on the handle.
Using that fabulous Zap super glue, just push down really hard and it won't be long before it goes off. Okay, out with the pins. Then we need some acrylic paint, we need some silver, and I'm starting with ivory black. And I'm just shading in all the areas of this tankard just to make it a bit darker, a bit more grubby. And once it's dry, it's time to use this silver
Acrylic, just to highlight this side of the tankard.
So a bit of silver on the brush and then a dry brushing we go. And what a difference that makes. Now I'm going to put
A piece of this plasterzote, and in this case plug it in here so that I can then stick these wires in it, and so the parrot will sit up nice and tight on top of the tankard.
So let's push this in and then just check that the feet are going to sit okay. And then we're going to put 2 holes in the plasterzote and push her legs down in there. Excellent. That'll work fine. So now it's time to super glue the legs to the feet and get something nice and pointy to make sure that glue gets into all the crevices. And then let it all dry.
Okay, so she is finished. The only thing we need to do now is to put a hook behind
The parrot so I can put her on a wall. A little tip for you, the best thing to do is find a balance point. When I stick a pin inside and hold it out, look, it bounces right in the middle. So then you stick 2 pinholes either side of that hole and then put your hook in, and look at that, it hangs perfectly on the wall. And soon she'll be appearing with this rum-soaked pirate in the final scene. But for today, here we have the finished parrot.